In this tutorial, I'll be demonstrating how you can create this really simple emblem-style logo design using Inkscape. And this is a good lesson in working with text along a path, as well as various path effects, such as the offset path effect and the show handles path effect, which allows you to apply these fake vector handles to any object you may be working with. Before we get started, if you want to learn more about how Inkscape works, be sure to check out my Inkscape Masterclass. It's a collection of over 80 video lessons where we go over all of the tools and features in Inkscape, and I explain what they are and demonstrate how they work, kind of like how I'll do in this video. We even have a private community where you can ask questions and get help from me anytime you want. I'll have some information about that down below if you want to check that out, and with that out of the way, let's get started. So the first thing I'll do is move this off of my page. Let me zoom to 100%, and I'm going to grab the rectangle tool. And I'm going to click and drag to draw a rectangle where the height is significantly larger than the width. And once that's drawn, I'm going to take this handle in the top right corner and just click and drag that down all the way until we have rounded edges like that. And then I'm going to grab my selection tool and convert that to a path by going to Path and selecting Object to Path. And then I'm going to grab the Nodes tool, and I'm going to click and drag these three nodes down here. And I want to click on this button up here that says Make Selected Nodes Corner. Click on that twice, and it's going to flatten those edges like that so that they become straight edges. And let me turn that off. Now I'm going to click on just this node right here, and I'm going to hold the Control key and click and drag this up about that far. And I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit. And I'm going to give this a different color. So let's grab the Selection tool, and I'm going to double click the fill stripe down here to open the fill and stroke menu. And I'm going to give this a color somewhere along that range. Make this lighter. You're going to want a lighter background for this. And I'll bring down the saturation a little bit. Okay, so now let me go to the Nodes tool. And I want to select this node right here, and then hold Shift and select that node right there so we have them both selected. And I want to click on this Add Corners Live Path Effect button. Well, once you click it, you'll have to select those nodes again. So let me just select them again. And then I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to take this handle right here, and I'm going to use this just to round those corners slightly, about that much. Maybe a little less. And then I'll select this node right here, and I'll do the same thing. I'm going to round to this one as well, very slightly. And then we can finalize that by clicking this button up here that says Object to Path. And now that's done. So now let's add the text going along the inside edge of this emblem. I'm going to right-click this object and go to Duplicate. And then I'm going to hold the Shift key and click on the black swatch to add a black stroke. And then I'm going to click the red X over here to remove the fill. And then I'm going to grab my Nodes tool. I'm going to select this node right here. Hold Shift, select that node right there. And then I'm going to click this button up here that says Break Path at Selected Nodes. And then I will go to Path and select Break Apart. And that's going to break that up into two different segments. So let me grab the Selection tool. Let me press the Escape key a couple of times to deselect everything. And I'm going to take this object down here on the bottom and press the Delete key to get rid of it. And what's going to happen now is we're going to use this line or this stroke as a reference point for the text we're about to wrap around the inside of the emblem. So let me grab my Text tool. I'm going to click on the canvas till I get the blinking cursor, and you want to make sure that you have your text centered for what we're about to do. So click on the centered text option, and I'm going to write in all caps, Logo Design Tutorial, and I'm going to change the font of that. Let me open up the text menu by going to Text and selecting Text and Font. And the font that I'm using is Montserrat. Any sans style font should work with this though, preferably something with a heavier weight like Montserrat Black. And I'm going to hold Control and just scale this down a little bit. And I'm going to kind of just eyeball this at first to see about how large the text should be relative to the emblem. I'll start off right about there, and if I have to make that larger, I will. So I have the text, again, making sure that the text is centered. I'm going to select the text and then hold Shift and select the black stroke or that path right there and go to Text and select Put on Path. And it should put the text on top of the path and directly in the center of it. And then you can click off of it to deselect. If you find that your text was placed upside down going along the inside of the path, you can change that by just selecting the path by itself and going to path and selecting reverse, and that'll reverse the direction of the path and place the text back on top. So now that that's done, I'm going to click on just the black path right there, that stroke, and I'm going to open up the Path Effects menu by going to Path and selecting Path Effects. And the path effect that I'm looking for is called Offset. So I'm going to just type in OFFS, and there it is right there. I'll click on Offset, and then I could take the Nodes tool, and I'm going to take this node or this handle right in the center and just click and drag this down so that the text goes along the inside of the emblem there. So let's grab our text tool now and add some spacing between the letters. I'm going to click on the text to select it. You should see the blinking cursor in there. And I'll open up this menu, and we're looking for this option right here that says spacing between letters. I'm just going to hold the plus key and add some spacing between those letters so it starts to wrap along the inside of that emblem. And when you do that, you'll notice that the spacing between the words is a little too large. So you can decrease that using this setting over here that says spacing between words. So I'm going to decrease the spacing between the words. And then just press Escape to get out of that. And what you'll notice now is the text isn't exactly even. It's a little lopsided. The bottom of this letter L is not on the same horizontal plane as the bottom of this letter L. And you could change that by putting your cursor right before this letter and then holding your Alt key, or that would be Option on Mac, and using the right arrow and pressing as many times as needed to even that out. And you'll know it's even when you see the bottom of each letter touching the edge of the bounded box represented by that dotted line. So right about there looks good. I'm going to leave that. And if you have to make the text larger or smaller, you can just go back to your text tool, select the text, and you could change the size up here in the menu if you want to. So if you want to make this smaller, you can choose a smaller value, or you could just manually type in a numerical value there. I liked mine how it was, so I'm going to undo that. And once you're happy with how the text looks, with the text selected, go to Path and select Object to Path. And now we could take this object right here. Or actually, we're going to leave that right now. Let's take the object behind it, and let's apply a stroke to this. So I'm going to hold the Shift key and click on the black swatch. And then I'm going to go back to my Fill and Stroke menu. And I'm going to click on Stroke Style. The order, I want to make sure I choose this option down here in the bottom center that says Stroke Markers Fill. And I want to use a rounded join. And I'm going to make this a lot larger. So let me bring up the size of this. I'll go with 12. I would recommend using a value that's easily divisible by 2. So for 12, I would be using 6 later on, because that's what we're going to apply to this stroke here on the inside. So I'm going to go now and select this stroke. And if I grab the Nodes tool, I should be able to pull this down a little more like that. I'm going to bring that down about that far. And then I'm going to convert that to a path. And I'm going to take these two nodes down here and just press Delete. I'm going to select them and press the Delete key on my keyboard. And now I'm going to use the Show Handles path effect. So with this object selected, let's go back to the Path Effects menu. And I'm going to type in Show. And there it is, Show Handles. And that's going to put these handles where the nodes and handles are of the vector path. And it's going to give us actual vector objects to work with for those handles. And you can adjust the size of them using this setting over here. So I'm going to make mine a little bigger. I'll make them about that big. And then I'll come back over here to the stroke menu, the Fill and Stroke menu, and the Stroke Style tab, and increase the size of the stroke. I'm actually going to use 6 because that's half of what the stroke on the outside over here is. So I'll go with that. And once you're happy with how that looks, you can go to Path, Object to Path, and then you can ungroup it by going to Object and selecting Ungroup. You may have to do so a few times. Or you know what, we'll have to use Break Apart for this one. Let's go to Path and select Break Apart instead. And there we go. Now let me click off of that to deselect everything. I'm now going to select just these shapes in here. I'm going to hold Shift and click on each of these shapes. I don't want to select any of the lines, just the squares, the circles, and the diamond shapes. And once I have them all selected, I can unify them together by going to Path, Union, and then I can go to Path, Stroke to Path, and then Path, Break Apart, and then Path, Union. And now I could take these lines right here. I'm going to hold Shift and click on each of these lines and you'll know you have them selected. You can go to the nodes tool and see that you'll have them selected there. You could turn on this option up here that says show path outline. It shows you the outline of every path you have selected. So that's helpful in this instance. And with that selected, let's go to path, stroke to path, and then hold shift and click on the shape, the grouping of shapes. And with all of that selected, go to path, union, and this should all now be one object. If I come over here to the nodes tool, you can see it's all one coherent or one large shape. So let me zoom out. Now I'm going to import an object to use in the center of the design here. For this demonstration, I'm just using the Inkscape logo. So I'm going to go to File, Import, and I'm going to grab my Inkscape logo. And let me scale that down a little bit. You can use whatever you'd like in here. And I'm going to hold shift and click on the emblem and open up the align menu by going to object and selecting align and distribute. I'm going to choose last selected and make sure I have it aligned on the vertical axis to the center. And now I'm going to place some text down here at the bottom. So let me grab my text tool again. And now I'm just going to write Inkscape. And the font that I'm using for the bottom here is called Phosphate. That is a free font if you want to look it up and download it. Any font should work, really. You can use anything you want down there. And I'm going to move this over here. Let me scale that down a little bit. Let me convert this to a path. We'll go to Path, Object to Path. And I want this text to be the same width as this text object over here. So I'm going to right-click on this object and go to Copy. And then I'm going to select the text and make sure I have this lock icon enabled in the toolbar here. And with that enabled, go to Edit, Paste, and choose Paste Width. And that'll make it the same width. And now you can place it in the center there. Let me select both of those and make sure I have that centered. There we go. And I'm going to put some subtext down here at the bottom. So I'm just going to write vectors. So let me grab my text tool again. And I'm going to use Montserrat Black, same as before. Let me scale that down, making sure I hold Control while I do that to maintain the aspect ratio. And I'll grab the text tool, and I'm going to space out those letters. And then once again, grab my selection tool and center this. Hold Shift, click on that, and center it vertically. And then I'm going to adjust the size of this emblem. So let me click on the emblem. I'm going to grab the nodes tool, and I'm going to click and drag over these bottom nodes right here. And I'm going to hold Control and just click and drag them up or down as needed. I'll bring that up about that far. And if you want, this next part is totally optional. I'm just going to put, in my design, I put a star at the bottom there just to fill in that empty space. You don't have to do that. I just did that for visual appeal. I'm going to grab the star tool. I'm going to use the star setting, 5 corners, spoke ratio of 0.455, and then click and drag to create a star. Make that black. Hold Shift, click the red X to remove the stroke. And I'll just move this in here like that. I'm going to hold Control and Shift and scale that down. Place that right about there. And then I'll make sure I have that centered as well. So if you notice now, on the Inkscape logo, the empty areas or the negative space is filled in with white. I want to do the same thing for the letters here. So to do that, I'm going to grab the bucket fill tool or the paint bucket tool. And the settings I have are visible colors, threshold 5, and grow shrink set to 0, and close gap set to medium. And I want to set my fill color to white. And then I'm just going to click on the areas in here that need to be filled in. And it's going to fill them in using objects that are slightly larger than the space that it's filling in, but that's okay. We're going to correct that in just a moment. So let me fill that all in. Okay, now I can grab my selection tool and select all of these white objects, by clicking on them while holding the Shift key. And with them selected, I can just go to Path, Union, and I can lower them using this option right here that says Lower Selection one step. Place that beneath the text. And there we go. So in my example logo, I added a year over here, 2026. This is optional as well. I just added that in there because I thought it was a nice touch. I'll add that in there real quick. In fact, I could probably use this text object. So let me select that and press Control D to duplicate it, or Command D if you are a Mac user. And let me bring down the spacing between those letters. And then I'll just write 20 for the left side. Place this over here. I'm going to try to align this about centered with that diamond shape right there. So let me scale that down, holding Control and Shift. Place that right about there and press Command D or Control D to duplicate it and bring this one over here. Grab the text tool and I'm just going to change that to 6. Make sure that's centered. And there we go. So let me select this object. Let me take this stroke that's going around the object and convert that to a path by going to Path and selecting Stroke to Path, and then go to Object and select Ungroup, and then click off of it to deselect. Now I'm going to select just this black object right there, and I'm going to apply a light gray stroke to that. So I'm going to hold Shift and click on one of the lighter gray swatches, and you should see it be applied. You may have to make it larger. Let me go back to the Fill and Stroke menu and increase the size of that. There we go. Maybe a little smaller. And let me convert that to a path as well. I will go to Path, Stroke to Path, and then Object, Ungroup. Click off of it to deselect everything, and then take just this light gray object, and we're going to make this white. And then I'm going to duplicate that by pressing Command D or Control D, and I'm going to make this black by clicking the black swatch, and go to Path, Break Apart, and Path, Union. And now I can send that to the bottom by clicking this button that says Lower Selection to the bottom, and I can use the blur slider over here to apply a blur to that, and we get this drop shadow sort of effect. I'm going to bring down the opacity so it isn't so intense. I want it to be very subtle, just subtle enough so that you can see the white outline, and it gives it a little bit of depth from between the logo and the canvas. If you found this lesson useful, then consider checking out my Inkscape Masterclass. It's a collection of over 60 videos where I go over all of the tools and features in Inkscape, and I explain what they are and demonstrate how they work. Kind of like how I did in this video. We even have a private community where you can ask questions and get help from me anytime you want. And best of all, there's no monthly membership fees. You just pay $17 one time and you're in for life. I'll have some information about that down below if you want to check that out. As always, thanks for watching.